I'm here today with Ryan Spong, who plays Alex in the remote office. Super formal intro, not so formal. Ryan, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Hello, what's up, man? I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. It feels like, well, for you, you were saying before, an eon since sort of we've done this from your side, which is in a few months. For me, not so much because I've just seen your face in the edit about
Just
five
every single day. Yeah, literally
every
feels like
single day,
forever.
man. Don't get too full of yourself.
You're not that into it. Yeah, literally feels
Um,
like forever.
it was a mark of the time, I think, right? Like everyone I've been talking to, we're all like, this is what we did during the lockdowns,
Yeah,
and then the world's kind of reopened up, and then we've kind of just gone into our regular lives. But this was Zoom land, was our life for a while.
yeah, yeah. It was weird, and like I said to you before, it's only been like a month and a half, almost 2 months, but because everything's opened back up, it literally makes it feel like it was forever ago, like a different lifetime.
It's interesting, like the fragmentation of time that happens when stuff's happening versus not happening, or if you're in just one place all the time, your
Yeah,
perception
yeah.
to when you're out seeing different things on a regular basis.
Yeah, lockdown definitely messed up the perception of time, for sure, 100%.
Yeah. Anyway, this isn't a quantum science
Yep.
physics-based podcast, although we could do.
I would quite like that, to be honest. That'd
Yeah,
be
yeah.
cool.
But yeah, we're here to plug the remote office.
Yeah.
Tell me, man, like before we dive into it, maybe give
Yes.
a little bit of a rundown about who is Ryan, like what have you done, how you got to where you are in your life now,
Yes.
how long have you been an actor for, the sort of Cliff Notes version of that.
Okay. So I'm from Trowbridge, small town in Wiltshire, not Somerset.
Somerset.
I thought, yeah, like you thought it was Somerset. Yeah, so
Okay.
from Trowbridge. And then when I was like 16 to 18, went to college and did performing arts in my local town, and then dropped out of college to move to London to start auditioning for things and started working on projects. And then the last 2 years, well, actually, see, because of lockdown time, man, it's not even the last 2 years now.
Years. It's like add on to.
Yeah, well, I literally just realized the other day that I've been back in England now longer than I lived in Canada.
Oh wow.
And it felt like I lived in Canada for a really long time.
Because you
And
moved
I've
to Vancouver, and how long were you there? Was it a couple of years?
2 years. So I moved to Vancouver with my little brother, 2017 to 2019. Absolutely amazing. Uh, and I moved there because I saw that some of the shows that I was watching and that I really liked were all being filmed in Vancouver. And I just needed to like get out of England and try something new and have some adventures. So yeah, I moved to Vancouver.
Which at the time had been voted like number one city in the world to live in for like 5 years in a row or something.
Yeah, yeah. And I'd never been there before. And it was absolutely amazing. It was amazing for work and just, it's just a, like, it's just so beautiful. It's great for traveling. And I started rock climbing when I was over there. And now that's become such a huge part of my life. I'm just climbing all the time. So now that I'm back in England, it's like, it was a big shift from having all this nature and having the ocean and being able to like, chill on the beach or go for these amazing road trips and going hiking to coming back to
You could go to
England.
Whistler in the same day if you
Yeah.
wanted
Oh
to.
my God.
Right?
Yeah. And just going up the road and going snowboarding. So like rock climbing is the one thing that I've brought back with me to England that I do all the time, which is
Nice.
keeping me happy and
Whilst you're planning your escape from England to go back to Vancouver, because
back to Vancouver. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Hopefully, well, this year would be great, but this year, next year.
amazing.
Yeah,
And
man.
tell me a little bit about the Alex character. Then, like we spoke about it. I don't know when we started speaking about him either. I have no frame of reference. It was a while ago, obviously. I
It
think
was a
back in
yeah,
last year, maybe, or early this year.
yeah. It was a while ago. You said I read the email earlier, actually. I think from
Or-
you, the very first email. Oh, where have you gone?
I'm still here.
Hang on. There we go.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. What? How would you describe him for anyone that's like listening to this now or watching this now? Like, who is he? What's he all about? And then from there, maybe we can go into how he's similar and different to Ryan, if at
All
all.
right. Yeah. Okay. Alex, okay, yeah, I feel like he's quite different to the rest of the team in terms of Alex is all about he wants to create his own businesses. He wants to live this life of financial freedom where he can do what he wants. He's very laid back, very chilled, and just wants to be happy and working on his laptop on the beach somewhere, maybe like in Bali, sipping on cocktails or drinking iced coffees on the beach whilst working on his laptop and
Like those
meeting people.
Instagram memes that everybody posts that
Yeah,
aren't
yeah.
always real, but he actually wants to be one of the ones that does live it.
Like, yeah, he wants to be actually the ones because everyone says they want to do it, and some people do actually do it, and he feels like he can actually do it, and that's his end goal. It's just to have a bunch of businesses online, stuff that makes him happy, build some really cool brands that he's passionate about, and then travel and just sit on the beach working on his laptop, which is what I feel, which, that's what makes him different to everyone else, because I feel like everyone else, that's their job, and their career. Maybe they want to move up in that business. Whereas for Alex, it's like, what can I learn from working here in this business? Learn everything I can, get paid for it, but then how do I apply that to my own stuff?
Yeah, it's like he's made the strategic move consciously to suck eggs for 2 or 3
Yeah,
years because he knows there's a gap in terms of what he knows,
yeah,
and he could do what he was doing, drop shipping and all that stuff to a
yeah,
degree.
yeah, yeah,
He wants to know so much of what the real underbelly works like from the sort of big places and the companies that he can then just take that off and
yeah,
do it for himself.
yeah. So like, yeah, he could carry on doing whatever he was doing, but by being here, learning from literally the people that are doing it best, he can learn so much more than he can ever learn by himself. Suck eggs, or however you put it, for 2 years, whatever. Learn everything you can, and then cool, apply it to my own stuff. I now have the tools that I need to get to that beach
I
and,
mean,
and
like
then
I wrote that because I think like that as a character, you're right. He's different to the majority of the rest of the characters,
yeah, yeah,
the mindset that he has. And I think, it's an interesting thing to explore. And it was important to explore within the show because I didn't just want it to be about worker bees for the sake of being worker bees. They all have their own identities and
yeah, of course.
traits. And I think it's an important topic to discuss in the world that we live in anyway. Like, if you're
Yeah,
in your 20s or even 30s, you can maybe get away with exploring and trying things and sucking eggs to,
sucking eggs.
but I mean, but it's like, why are you doing it? You're doing it if it's just to earn a paycheck. In the long run, you're going to get the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah,
But his mindset is, no, I don't want to do this forever, but I know there's value in doing it in the short term because I know my long term goal.
of course.
And I think for any 20-year-old, like if I was 20 and I was told this stuff, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like what?
Totally. Yeah, which is why also when it's like, oh, we might lose our jobs. For me playing Alex, I'm thinking I'm not too worried. All right, yeah, we might lose our jobs, and I'm worried for everyone else because this is just meant to be somewhere that Alex can go and learn, but he's actually made some of his best friends. So he's kind of pissed from the perspective of, you're screwing over my friends. These are my family. But on a personal level, when it comes to
The
career prospects and stuff like that, the actual job, he's not too worried because he's already learned so much. He's like, I'm going to be good. I'll be good.
Yeah, exactly, man. I love that. I love that you picked up on the fact that the theme was very much around family and that bond,
Yeah,
more than anything else. And that's kind of what you take out of a lot of places that you work in. Usually it's the connections with the people and the stuff you learn as well. But eventually you hit a point where there's only so much you're going to learn being,
yeah,
I say from experience, being 9 to 5 in an office. It's like, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
What really matters.
yeah, yeah. But the thing is as well, I feel like because it's a family and they're best friends, he'd be a totally different person if he was only about, I'm going to come in, learn what I'm doing, and then leaving. Screw the rest of you. He's the complete
He
opposite of
wants the
that. He's
experience, right? Like he always seemed to be like the kind of guy who dives in head first to anything because he wants to experience life,
yeah,
no matter what it is.
yeah. So you may as well do it 100%,
Yeah,
no matter what it is, even if it's it's not your end goal. You may as well do that thing at 100%.
for real.
So you have that for all the stuff that you do in life, right?
For real. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's definitely got this slightly different mindset to the rest in that sense. And I think sometimes we won't spoil it, but some characters maybe get a little rubbed the wrong way by the fact that he's able to come in and sort of be quite chill, but
Yeah.
gets results or gets clients to react to him in a way that
Yeah.
others can't, and they don't know why.
Yeah, for sure. Like with, well, yeah, I guess you're not saying it right. 'Cause you didn't want to spoil it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not for
Yeah.
that scene.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to say it, and then
Not for that scene.
yeah. Yeah.
That's got to be a big surprise, that one, with that big drop.
That
But
was, yeah.
where do you think so where do you think you as Ryan are similar to Alex, and where do you think you're different?
Uh, I think there's quite a lot actually, and
I
you said
know,
this.
because I wrote the character with people in mind.
Yeah, well, that's one of the first things you said to me when we had that first call on Zoom, and in those very first emails. So during lockdown, I started building brands and doing that myself just because I thought it'd be really fun. So
I didn't know about, by the way. I had no idea you were doing that.
Oh, you didn't? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
I only knew about that when you told me on the call, but my thing of approaching you was I remembered when we last met years ago in LA.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, yeah, Ryan's got the vibe of someone who is potentially the travel the world lifestyle kind of guy. And that always kind of stuck with me as sort of being very akin to Alex's ethos. Then on that call we first had, you then brought up the businesses you had been building.
Yeah.
Oh shit, this is actually like
yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, because I love that stuff, man. Like traveling and having adventures. So my whole life I've always tried to juggle my career as an actor with living.
Just living.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to explain it, but having adventures as well and doing as much fun stuff as I can and exploring and having all these like travel experiences. I guess it's hard when as an actor, because there's projects and then like, can you go away? But I've always tried to go and do things just because I want to, because I love having adventures like more than anything in the world.
You're going to be a better actor by having life experiences anyway. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Wait around for 6 months and nothing will come, and then you've wasted a chance.
Yeah, exactly. That's just boring. It's just a waste of time. So I want to just go and have fun and do stuff and have those life experiences. So I've always been trying to do stuff like that. Like when I was 19, I went to go work that was a long time ago, in Lapland, which was the most random experience I've probably ever had in my life. 19, I was so young, and I just went away for 5 weeks to go live in Finland, in Lapland, as an activity guide, riding snowmobiles through the forest and driving people through the Finnish countryside so they could go on like dog sledding trips and just random stuff like that, and making warm berry juice in the snow with like handmade fires. That was amazing. So I've always wanted to go and do stuff like that. But then when I'm working, I'm like super passionate about my work. And I feel like that's very similar to Alex. He's at Row Media. He works hard. He's very passionate about what he does. He wants to work hard. But there's that side of him where he wants to explore and he wants to have these adventures. Mm-hmm. And through the work at Row Media, you can learn the tools to sort of combine that life.
In a life where they're not on and off.
Where they're synonymous. So his whole life is just passionate work that he loves and just having adventures, which is the same for me.
Yeah.
Do work that I love, that I'm passionate about, and just do rock climbing
from wherever the hell you want, whenever you want. Hey, man.
Yeah.
And for me, I remember I was pretty adamant I was gonna sort of have you play the role because I wrote it sort of with you in mind.
Yeah.
The thing that sunk it for me was when you did a quick read for me, and then we were talking about the character and his conversation with one of the clients, which you won't name, and you just said, "Well, yeah, it's like, you know, I'm a dude, he's a dude, we're
Yeah.
both just dudes," and I'm like, "That's the guy. That's the
Yeah.
that's
Well,
the good."
that's. I mean, yeah, why be so serious? This is for Alex working at Row Media, right? It's in the corporate world. Everyone's so. I mean, I say
Formal and
that I've
serious.
never had a proper like a corporate job, so I wouldn't know. But I assume everyone's quite
Um,
serious.
I mean, I would say people aren't, and then they get into like meetings with clients or official meetings, and they put on a different face. You know,
Yeah,
like that does happen. People have like different faces that they show, and they think that they have to put on their professional face. And you
yeah,
find that 9 times out of 10, most clients actually just like it when you just talk to them like a human and you're real. And
yeah. Well, it's hard to say what I want to say without talking about the scene that you don't want to talk about. But in that scene, there's a lot on the line, right?
sure,
So the go-to would be I have to be
do what
very
you think the client wants to hear.
like we have to be very professional because there's a lot on the line. But
And
sometimes,
we
yeah,
see that in the scene because there's the contrast with some of the other team members who are doing what they think is the right formal approach.
it's so hard to explain it without explaining it. We're
I know.
like trying to tiptoe around it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this later once that scene's released, and then like sort of piece it together in a weird kind of like.
Yeah. All right. That was a fun scene though. That was fun to shoot.
It was a good scene with some good actors,
It
and
was fun.
yeah, it's turned out pretty well. And we're
Yeah.
talking in rhymes, and no one watching
Yeah.
this.
Has any
Yeah.
idea?
So let's move on so they don't
Yeah.
drop off. So I'm curious to get your thoughts on what it was like to act on Zoom on this sort of kind of rehearsed teleplay, whatever this thing is.
Yeah.
How did you find the experience of acting on Zoom? What were the things that you felt worked maybe better than you thought? What were the things that you felt were just a bit shit because Zoom?
Yeah, man. Uh, so I only started. Well, everyone started using Zoom during lockdown, I guess. But I was only using it for playing poker with my friends.
Nice.
Playing poker and drinking on Friday nights. That's what we did
Yeah.
throughout the whole of the first lockdown. Um, yeah, and then
So
we
was
sort
this
of
the first thing you acted? You acted in.
on Zoom. Yeah, yeah. It was the first time for me doing something on
You hadn't
Zoom.
done classes or anything like that.
No, no, no. I was. Yeah, no. I did no classes on Zoom. So this was the first thing. Obviously, it was great not having to travel anywhere, which we couldn't anyway. We were in lockdown, so it was just a good excuse to be creative with your friends and just shoot something. Um, I guess for you as well, being the creator, you didn't have to worry about how we're going to find the money to do this, and it's just okay. Let's jump on Zoom and let's
Why it says remote.
the remote. Yeah,
The whole idea was what can we do within the confines of lockdown that actually ties the plot in with the fact that we're in lockdown,
yeah,
as
yeah,
opposed to trying to film like a military epic but on Zoom, where
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. So I think it works because it's like, well, it is on Zoom, and that's exactly what we're going for,
pretty much, yeah.
pretty much.
What did you find like challenging or clunky about the process then acting, especially with it being your first time?
Uh, I guess so. I was in the West Country in Wiltshire with my whole family during for most of while we were filming this. So just trying to find a quiet place because sometimes we'd be filming on the weekend, right, or on a Friday night or something. So just trying to find a quiet place that I can go and do this and just be with you guys and not be distracted by the outside world when they're downstairs watching Ant and Dec Saturday Night Takeaway or something, drinking. And I think there was one time my dad walked in and, hey, Ryan, do you want a pizza? I just sort of went with it, but we ended up cutting anyway. But also, it's not very intimate looking at a screen, right? It's so much more intimate. I can't even say intimate. Being in person with someone listening to someone with real ears, their real voice, and not staring at someone through
And
a
seeing
screen.
more than like just this
This
part of them in the
tiny,
frame, right?
yeah, and I mean,
You muted yourself. The power of Zoom strikes again. How have you muted yourself?
there we go. This is what I mean. Zoom.
You never did that in the filming. Thank God.
Thank God. I don't know what I pressed there.
You're right. Like we're not intimate because we're not there in person. I suppose again the fact that this is set within the world of people
Yeah,
working on Zoom, it
yeah,
actually
yeah,
sort of plays into the hands a little bit there.
yeah. One of the things for me was just setting up the actual Zoom on my screen, where to place, yeah, like where to place it, and so I could see everyone because I want to be able to see people, right? But it was always like a thin strip, and I couldn't see everyone. See, sort of, someone's talking, but you can't see them. You know, I got, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
the technical aspects of being on Zoom.
I don't think there's an easy way of that either. I think it's very much like, you know, clunky, but it is what it is.
Funky is what it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it worked out all right.
It worked out fine, I think.
Sweet.
People, just someone's gonna watch it.
See what happens. But one person might watch it.
Hey, if one person watches it and enjoys it, then that makes it worthwhile.
Result.
One
Absolutely.
person out of our group, not from our group.
Yeah. One person that wasn't involved. Yeah, one person that wasn't involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I am ending these in sort of the Tonight Show style fashion. I've got these cards with questions on them. I'm going to pull out like 3 or 4 random ones, but I'm asking people to answer as the character, right? So I want you to answer the question, but as Alex.
Okay, I already feel like I'm gonna be so bad at this, but all right, let's go.
Great. Well, you as Ryan might be terrible. Alex, fantastic. And if the questions are shit, I'm just gonna push them to one side.
Did you write these questions?
Did I? Fuck! I bought this in LA.
Oh, cool. All right, sweet.
It's like one of those card decks. I bought it in Venice Beach.
Nice. Venice Beach! Don't get me started. I love that place.
Man. Yeah, it was many years ago though. Okay, first question. What makes you most stressed, Alex?
What makes me most stressed, Alex? The corporate world, man. God damn the corporate world.
All right. Next one. What work were you doing the last time you forgot time altogether?
What work were you doing the last time you forgot time altogether?
You know, like when you're doing something and then just like time disappears. So immersive.
Yeah, for sure. Building my online brands, building my businesses. When I start one of those projects, I just dive straight into it, and I have no idea what time it is. I just crack on and forget about time. So yeah, definitely when I'm building my brands, but in the early stages mainly.
When you're like creative and in full creative mode.
Yeah, and when you're researching products and you're actually building your website, you can just spend literally all day doing that stuff. Yeah, I can spend forever doing that stuff.
2 hours on just moving a pixel around so that it aligns with the table.
Yeah. But I love it because it's for me. You know, I'm not doing it for someone else. So I can spend 16 hours on my laptop building my own website, and I love it because I know it's for me.
You're investing.
I'm investing in myself. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Are there mistakes you repeat from one holiday to the next?
One holiday? Are there mistakes you repeat from one holiday to the next?
Yeah.
My mind can't even figure out what that means.
I guess it's like, I don't know, maybe some people, I don't know, always forget to lock their luggage when they go on. I don't know. I'm making this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess, yeah. All right.
Like, do you always forget to not take enough money in the currency of, like, what is that for Alex?
Well, I always use a travel card, so I never have to worry about cash because I'm always jotting off to different countries. I never want to worry about am I taking enough cash or taking cash with me and getting robbed. So I have a Revolut. It is literally the best. Game changer. So I always take that with me. I guess more surfing holidays for sure. I love surfing, and I'd go on a city break, and it is fun, and I love it, and I love city breaks. But whenever I'm in the city, I'm like, oh man, I want to be on the beach surfing. So more surfing holidays.
Gotcha. Okay, last one.
Yes.
Describe an important teacher in your life outside of school.
Oh, outside of school, every single person on YouTube.
Oh,
That's
careful
well,
now. Wait,
well, okay, yeah,
there's some
that's a
fucking weird people on YouTube, man.
that's a bold statement.
Yeah, yeah.
But there are some great teachers
That's true.
on YouTube. So when I started getting into building my own businesses, I literally had no idea what I was doing. And I didn't really want to go to school or university and do business or anything like that. I just wanted to go on YouTube and just learn as much as I could and then start doing it. So I learned so much. I got to the stage where I could build the websites and I could get things rolling. But then for me, the next stage was, okay, how do I now scale these businesses?
You could find that info there too.
Yeah, you can.
Problem
You're
is,
right.
there's a lot of bullshit. You got to know how to wade through the crap.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a lot of shit, but that's why I went to Row Media, because for me, this is how I'm going to learn. I can literally learn so much on YouTube, but now I need real life experience with real people who are going to be my mentors. So literally every single friend at Row Media that I've made is like someone that inspires me, because I'm always learning from them.
Oh man, I'm gonna make that the sound bite for the whole show. That is, I'm gonna find a way to clip that and cut it. Awesome. Listen, dude, it's been cool chatting to you about the character, about the project.
You too, bro.
Last minute for you, I guess. Like, do you want to let people know where they can connect with you on the socials? If you've got any projects coming up or that you're just really proud of that you want to plug, then feel free to plug.
Yeah. I mainly just use Instagram. It's just at Ryan Spong, my name. I have Twitter and stuff as well, but I mainly use Instagram. And during lockdown, I think it was between lockdowns, I managed to get away to Shropshire, and we shot a really cool film called Return of the Beast from Outer Space.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that we shot that between lockdowns, and that was
short or feature.
It's a short. Short film, so it's now doing it's now hitting festivals this year. So it's screening in Iowa this month, and being part of that project was absolutely amazing. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how that does in the festivals. And
wait, so that's on the festival circuit now, and people will have to wait till they can watch it, I'm assuming.
It's on the festival circuit right now. Iowa this month, and then obviously we're going to wait to see where else it plays. So I'm looking forward to being able to share that when I can, because I think it's.
You've been busy in lockdown, man. You got busy in your lockdowns. You made stuff.
Busy. Yeah. Well, I also spent so much time just at home with my family, going for walks, you know.
In between filming Zoom shows and horror movies.
Yeah. And then just going for loads of walks, and
same as everybody.
The climbing gyms were shut there the whole time, so now that's back open. That's the thing that I'm doing the most, mainly just climbing. But yeah, bro, Ryan Spong on Instagram, Return of the Beast from Outer Space, and then hopefully going away at the end of the year to shoot something else in Europe.
Sweet.
Yeah, but looking forward to seeing this show, bro. Thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for getting me on board.
Always.